Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, April 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Washington Nationals vs Minnesota Twins. The Twins are 11-10 overall, and they have lost 6 of their last 7 games. Minnesota has lost 3 straight games entering Sunday. Minnesota has lost the first 2 games of the 3-game series against the Nationals. In the latest game, the Twins lost to the Nationals rather handily by a final score of 10-4. On Saturday, Minnesota allowed 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and that set the back for the entire game. Byron Buxton hit a solo home run in the 3rd inning to get the Twins on the board, but it wouldn't be enough. Pablo Lopez pitched 4 innings and allowed 5 earned runs. He was credited with a loss in the game. Minnesota's Ober is a known starter and he played well last season. He was just beaten out during the spring camp. He was elevated into the roster this weekend and he will get the start for the Twins. In minor league play, Ober has been stellar with a 2.55 ERA in 3 starts. I will give Minnesota the edge in this game, as Ober has more of a chance of shutting the Nationals down than his counterpart Cull. Cull has struggled this season as he has allowed at least 2 runs in each game that he has appeared. Take the Twins minus 1.5 runs. The inconsistent pitching from either side, whether it is from the starting spot or in relief, will come into play on Sunday. The over is the play as this will become a high-scoring matchup. The over is 6-2 in the Nationals' last 8 versus the American League Central. The over is 4-1 in the Twins' last 5 home games versus a left-handed starter. Take the over 8.5 runs. Toronto Blue Jays vs New York Yankees. The New York Yankees have been doing an average job throughout the season as they are 17th in MLB with a .716 ops while scoring 4.38 runs per game up to this point. They have been menaces on the basepaths as they have recorded 22 stolen bases on 28 attempts as a team thus far. First baseman Anthony Rizzo, .961 ops, 4 HR, has been on fire to begin the year and needs to keep producing at the top of the order. I understand Clark Schmidt has been dreadful on the mound, but he has not allowed an earned run in 3 appearances against them, including 2 last season, so it feels like he has a chance to correct his woes against a team he matches up decently well against. There is a major difference with how these bullpens have been performing throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, as the Blue Jays are 21st in the sport with a 4.35 reliever ERA, while the Yankees are 2nd in baseball with a 2.32 bullpen ERA. This is not an exact science or anything, but the Yankees have not lost with the series on the line, and that continued yesterday as well. All in all, go with the New York Yankees to win as an underdog. There have been 12 total runs in the first 2 games of this series, so it feels like a stretch to expect an offensive explosion to happen out of the blue. Looking at the BABIP for both teams, neither is doing better than average, as the Yankees are down at 26th with a .269 BABIP, while the Blue Jays are 12th with a .307 BABIP right now. The under has hit in each of the previous 5 games between these teams played at Yankee Stadium, so go with the under 8.5 runs. Oakland Athletics vs Texas Rangers. Sometimes sports betting is just extremely easy, and this feels like it as Oakland's starting pitcher Kyle Muller has a .346 batting average against this year, while Jacob deGrom is pitching to a .195 batting average against this season. The Oakland Athletics might lose 115 games this season due to their incredible lack of MLB talent, and the Texas Rangers are a great offensive team that should be able to produce runs to support one of the best pitchers in the entire sport in Jacob deGrom. The Athletics are 27-61 overall in their last 88 games against teams above .500, so go with the Texas Rangers to win, and to win big. Kyle Muller has allowed 6 runs in each of his last 2 games by himself, so expecting 7 total runs feels incredibly easy to hit. Texas's bullpen has been doing extremely well as they are 3rd in baseball with a 2.70 reliever ERA, while Oakland's bullpen has been getting shelled as they are the 3rd worst thus far, with a 6.54 bullpen ERA up to this point. The over is 4-0-1 in their last 5 games against one another, so go with over 7 runs in this game as well. Kansas City Royals vs Los Angeles Angels. Los Angeles enters this game coming off a series loss on the road against the Yankees and having split the first 2 games of their current series against the Royals at home. In their most recent 11-8 loss, Tyler Anderson got the start and the no decision for the Angels, tossing 5.1 innings and allowing 7 hits that resulted in 6 runs, with 5 of those runs being earned. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Angels, with Jose Quijada getting the loss after allowing 5 runs in the top of the ninth. On the offensive end for the Angels, the bats were producing, just not enough to cover the 11 runs the Royals put up. Mike Trout went 2-5 with a run scored and 3 RBIs, while Hunter Renfroe went 3-4 with 2 bombs, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Surprisingly, Shohei Ohtani was silent at the plate, going 0-5 with no strikeouts. The Angels had some other guys string together some hits and RBIs, but it ultimately wasn't enough to recover from the deficit their pitching put them in this game. Feeling a bounce-back Game 3 for the Angels in this series. They have a slight edge on the bump with Reed Detmers starting against a team that has struggled against left-handed pitching thus far, while the Royals give Jordan Lyles the start, who hasn't found too much success this season. Lyles has yet to get his first win on the season, with a 0-3 record in his first 4 starts and a cumulative 3.91 ERA and 1.22 WHIP. On the offensive end, the Angels obviously have a little more star power with Trout and Ohtani in the lineup, but don't write off Hunter Renfroe, who hit 2 bombs in the team's loss last night, and Gio Urshela, who has gotten off to a great start to the season. In terms of trends, the Royals are 0-4 in Lyles' past 4 starts and are 0-6 in their past 6 games against a starter with a WHIP over 1.30. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, the Angels have won 4 of their past 5 meetings overall and in 10 of their past 13 meetings in Los Angeles. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Angels' money line. These teams are coming off a high-scoring 11-8 Game 2 of the series, and I expect to see some regression in Game 3. Baseball loves for teams to use up all their runs and have the bat slowed down after hanging up a crooked number. The pitching matchup doesn't necessarily jump off the page, but Jordan Lyles has posted a 3.91 ERA and 1.22 WHIP in his first 4 starts, and Reed Detmers has posted a 4.50 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP in his first 3 starts. Both pitchers feel due for a solid start and their first win on the season, so I would expect a solid performance from both starters. On the offensive end, we saw the bright side, best case scenario for both of these teams last night. However, both teams have struggled with their consistency on the season, hence the losing records. I think we see quite a different story in Game 3, with this being a close 5-3 or 4-2 Game 3. In terms of trends, the Angels have gone under in 3 of their past 4 home games and in 5 of Detmers' past 6 starts on 5 days rest. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone under in 5 of their past 6 meetings overall and in 4 of their past 6 meetings in Los Angeles. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under in this matchup. Our total pick is under 9.5 runs. San Diego Padres vs Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona struggled to get runs across the board in Saturday's 5-3 loss to their divisional foe. However, it's worth noting they out-hit the Padres 9-6 in the game, but were only able to muster up 2 extra base hits. Christian Walker, 2-3, Corbin Carroll, 2-4, and Gabriel Moreno, 2-4, were the only players with multiple hits. Walker's 2 hits were the most important as he notched an RBI single in the first and followed that up with a 2-run bomb in the third. As for the pitching, Merrill Kelly made the start and lasted 5.0 innings, allowing 4 earned runs on 3 hits and 5 walks. He took the loss, moving him to 1-3 on the season. It should be a thrilling finish to the series Sunday as Yu Darvish goes for the Padres, while Dre Jameson gets the nod for the Diamondbacks. Ultimately, I have to side with the odds makers here, and I'll lay the juice with San Diego on the money line. While I like this lethal San Diego offense to get to Jameson for a few runs, it's worth noting that he's posted great numbers against the Friars in his young career. The team is just 3-24.125 with a home run and a double against the right-hander. On top of that, despite having arguably the biggest name recognition lineup in baseball, the Padres are underperforming this season. They're just 23rd in runs scored, 85, and 28th in team batting average, .215. I simply think 10 runs is too high of a number in a divisional matchup like this. Throw in that neither offense has been overwhelmingly great at producing runs this year, and we should see this one stay under the total. Our total pick is under 9 runs. New York Mets vs San Francisco Giants. The Giants lost on Friday for the 8th time in their last 10 games, falling to the Mets, 7-0. San Francisco only managed 5 hits and was shut out for the 3rd time this year. The Giants dropped to 2-6 at home and 1-7 in night games as they allowed New York to take the first 2 games of their series. At 6-13, San Francisco sits 1 game ahead of the Colorado Rockies for 4th place in the NL West. They trail the division-leading Arizona Diamondbacks by 5 games. I like the Mets in this game. Not only is Alonso on fire, but the numbers suggest New York will have an advantage on the mound in this game early in the season. Medjugorje is 7-1 in 9 career starts in the month of April. Stripling, on the other hand, has a career record right around .500, but is just 1-9 in the month of April over his 8 big league seasons. Overall, there really isn't a statistical category where the Giants have a major edge. Their power has been their best attribute this season, but now they're up against the MLB leader in home runs. San Francisco has also been one of the worst fielding teams this season, with a 0.98 fielding percentage that ranks 28th. The Mets, meanwhile, are the best defensive team in baseball with a 0.995 fielding percentage. New York has played exceptionally well on this West Coast road trip and will be motivated to finish it off the right way. Give me New York. I'm siding with the under in this game. I just don't trust the Giants' offense enough as a whole, and neither team has hit for a very high batting average this season. The under has hit in 3 out of the last 4 games for both teams, and I really like how steady New York's defense is. The Mets only have 4 errors this season, and they are also second in strikeouts per game. The Giants are not very good at manufacturing runs, as their 9 stolen bases ranks 24th in the MLB. If they're not cranking home runs, the Giants are not scoring much. Stripling probably won't give San Francisco a ton of innings on Sunday, and the Giants' bullpen has enough good arms to keep the Mets in check. Medjugorje is tough in April in his career, sporting a minuscule 2.39 ERA. I like the under.